Tugina is now Reading with Tugina. Welcome to the new season with more stories, more fun, and yes, more friends for Tugina.
Okay. Hello everyone and welcome back to another show of Reading with Tugina. Yay! Today we are not reading books, but we have a very special show today because we have a special guest. This is Brittney, and she is going to be talking with us about how she wrote her first book, or about her book, her new book. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, so my name is Brittney Dias. I'm the author of Ava and May Own a Lemonade Stand, and this is a book about two sisters who own different businesses. So in this book, they realize that the drinks have run out at the summer start fair, and so they use their resources to learn how to start their very own business.
That is so cool. I think writing a book is just one of the coolest things you can do. I love reading, so just books too. It's really cool. But okay, so you already said your name, and if you would tell us your pronouns.
Yeah, I use she, her pronouns.
Okay, great. And what grade are you in?
I am actually graduated, so I'm not in any grade anymore. Yeah, I don't know if it would be 13th, 14th grade. I graduated from the University of Washington in 2021, so I've been graduated for about a year.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Okay, so we'll just get on with the questions. So first, what inspired you to write this book?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I've always wanted to write a children's book because I used to love kids' books growing up, and they were super impactful for me as a child. And I've always had a really big passion for connecting with kids because kids are the next generation. I mean, youth are really what the future of the world is banking on. So I've always had a really big passion for kids, and I got the opportunity to write a children's book through an internship that I had my last year of university. I was on the racial impact team of this startup, and so our job was to strategize how we can use our resources to bolster Black-owned business ownership and to increase Black and Brown business owners. And I noticed that growing up, a lot of the messages, children of color are not represented in the same way as other kids. And so I wanted to create more positive, empowering, and educational messaging that represented Black and Brown children.
Oh yeah, that's really great. That's really awesome. Okay, yeah. And my second question for you is, do you like to read? And if so, what are your favorite books?
Yeah, so I do like to read. And then my favorite books that I read tend to change with my age. So when I was younger, I really liked Junie B. Jones. I don't know if you've heard
I've heard of it. I used to read it too.
But I was really big on the Junie B. Jones books. I liked Dr. Seuss. I really liked No David. I don't know if you've heard of that.
Heard of that
Just those random books that you
Yeah.
remember, like in the back of your memory. I remember reading those. And then once I got, more of like a teenager, preteen, I read a lot of not very well-known authors, but I read a lot of, I would love to go to the library. The library was my favorite place to go because they have the teen section, and I could read all sorts of novels that I felt like I really could relate to. I read a lot of John Green and a lot of things, a lot of works that had to do with coming of age and, going through puberty and having drama with friends and things like that. And so I remember I used to really like the Hunger Games and Divergent trilogies and sci-fi and things like that. And now that I'm older, I read a lot of Maya Angelou. Yeah.
That's really cool. I like to read also, and right now, what I mostly like to read is fiction.
Yeah.
Just any type of fiction.
Yeah.
But yeah, coming of age is good too. I really like those books. So that's really cool that you found things that you like to read. I think reading is a really important thing, and a lot of people just think it might be a bit boring, but maybe if they just found the right books to read, they would grow to love it. My next question is, have you always liked writing, like when you were a kid, or is this more of a recent thing?
Yeah, I've always really liked writing. They talk about, okay, what did you do when you were a kid? Like what, brings you joy? And I remember during the summer, I would like sit at my desk that I still have in my room, and I would write, like I would write little stories, I would write like poetry, things like that. So I've always liked reading and writing.
That's really cool. Yeah, I like reading and writing too. Yeah, okay. And my next question is, can you maybe explain the process it took of writing your book for anyone who might be wanting to write one, or they might want to write one, but they don't know where to start or what goes into writing a book?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I talk a lot about this on my YouTube channel. It's Books by Britt. So I personally self-published my book. And so with that, it's a lot more hands-on. So with a traditional publisher, you write the writing part and then you send it in and then that's it. And then it's done within like a year. But with self-publishing, there's a lot of different parts that you have to put together as an author. So with the writing piece itself, I started out, it's going to be different depending on what you're writing. So I'm going to talk about, if you were interested in writing a children's book in particular, I got a poster board and I wrote out 32 squares because that's the typical number of pages for a children's book. And then I kind of drew, I'm not a good illustrator. I have Iman Purnell is a wonderful illustrator. She has great artistic abilities. I can't draw. So I did my little stick figures and I drew out the story before actually writing it down, which I think is interesting because the pre-writing portion, I'm sure that you've done that in like a lot of your classes, where you're brainstorming is probably where most of the work comes in. And then you kind of fill in the blanks after you've got a set storyline in your head. So, yeah.
It's great. The poster board idea, I've never heard of that, but it's a really good idea. Yeah, I like to write things too, not exactly stories, but I enjoy writing. But I think that poster board idea is really cool. Maybe I'll try it out.
What do you like to write?
Just random things. Just in school, the teacher usually gives us prompts, like a journal, right? Like every time we're in that class, and just random things. But yeah. Okay, my next question is, why did you choose to write a kid's book and not like a chapter book? And do you plan on maybe writing one in the future?
Yeah, so I wrote a picture book because I wanted to connect to elementary school kids, so younger kids. And so that's a way that I could connect to younger kids, even if, because with this book, even if children can't read, there's a lot of kids that still really resonate with the story because they can look at the pictures, they can talk with their parents, and they can see what's going on, even if they don't have the best reading comprehension yet. So I wanted to be able to reach as many younger kids as possible. So that's why I chose a picture book. But yeah, in the future, I really do hope to expand as a writer and go into other forms of writing, whether that be noveling or online blogs or poetry, things like that. That's what I really like about writing, is that there's so many different forms of writing and they're all very different. So.
Yeah, well, that's great. I'm really excited to see what you might come up with in the future. Yeah. That's very exciting. All right, and my other question is, do you have any other hobbies besides writing?
Yeah, let's see. What do I like to do? I really like music. So I really like to see music live and go to concerts and things like that. That's a big thing for me. I really like to hang out with friends. So I'm a pretty social person. I like being able to meet new people, talking to people. I like going to different places. So I like to travel. Let's see, what else do I like to do? I like watching TV. I do. I know. I do like to read. You gotta read, but I also like TV and movies and talking to other people about shows and new movies that have come out and things like that.
Okay, what type of shows do you like?
Ooh, let's see. I tend to like kind of intense sci-fi shows, or like very suspenseful things. So either I like like cartoons or like things that are really suspenseful. Let me think of an example of a show that recently. I also like reality TV. But I like the show. The show that's coming out soon is Ozark. It's like very suspenseful, so I've watched that. I'm trying to think of what else. Can't really think of that off the top of my head. But,
No, that's okay.
Yeah, I do like cartoons. I like watching like Steven Universe. That's a cartoon that I really like, and of course SpongeBob. I feel like that's a classic.
Yeah,
because that was popular when I was a kid. So, and it's still going. So.
Yeah, everyone likes SpongeBob.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's really cool. And do you maybe have like a favorite like movie shows?
A favorite? Oh, that's a hard question. I'm not very good with favorites.
No.
And let me think.
It's okay if you don't have one.
Let me just give me a second. Let me think. Favorite show? I'd probably say, like, for cartoons, my favorite show is Steven Universe.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have personally never watched that show, but maybe I'll try it out someday.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of people like it, so yeah. Okay, my next question is, are there any similarities between your book and your own life? Like,
that is a great question. So there actually are a lot of similarities because Ava and May are two very new entrepreneurs. And as I've created this book and was in charge of the publishing and things like that, I'm now a business owner. So I'm an entrepreneur they call it an authorpreneur. So if you are an author, a lot of it is, it's not just writing. A lot of it is you need to think about marketing, you need to think about branding and sales and hiring different people for different jobs. For example, I had to hire an illustrator because, I'm not an illustrator myself. And so that's a part of being an entrepreneur and being a business owner. And so a lot of what Ava and they go through as they learn how to do that is very parallel to what I'm going through while I'm writing the books that they're in. So, yeah.
well, that's nice. Yeah, you're like an entrepreneur. Congratulations. And that's great. Okay. What were your favorite classes when you were in school?
I really liked English. I liked English class. I liked writing. I liked science. When I was in high school, I liked chemistry. It was hard, but I liked it. And depending on the teacher, I liked history, but that's kind of hit or miss sometimes.
Yeah, it is really. But, yes. I like English too. My favorite ones are probably art. I have an illustration class.
Awesome.
And I've been thinking of writing maybe a children's book as well. My mom has really encouraged me because I like writing, I like reading, and I like drawing too. So
that's perfect.
Yes. But do you have any advice maybe?
Yeah, any advice for just in general or for writing?
For writing a children's book.
Yeah, any advice? I would say try and make as many, while you're writing the book and putting it together, it's easy just to focus on creating the book. But while you're doing that, that needs to be the time where you are creating a list of contacts and networking with people. Because what I've found is it's more than just creating the book. A lot of it is marketing the book. So things like doing interviews, things like social media. And I think if I were to go back and do it again, I would focus more of that, not just like wait until the book is done to focus on that, start doing that while I'm creating the book. It's probably my biggest piece of advice.
Yeah, that's really good advice. Thank you. Yeah, I think writing the book is one thing, but then marketing the book is a whole different thing. But yes, that is all the questions I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining me. It was very exciting. This is my first time interviewing.
Well, you did a great job.
Thank you. I tried. But it was great to have you as my first time. You have a great way of speaking. It's very clear. Everything is very clear.
Awesome.
So this is the book. Ava and May own a lemonade stand. It is written by Brittney Dias and illustrated by Iman Pernell. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. But is there anything you would like to say about your book?
Yeah. So I can just kind of talk about the storyline. So this is Ava and May. They start out, the story begins, they are having fun at the summer start fair, and then they realize that the fair has run out of beverages because there's so many people that come to the fair. And so they're like, oh, well, we have a great lemon tree in our backyard. And so they just go home and have some lemonade because it's the best thing they could drink anyway. But then Ava has an idea and she says, what about everyone else at the fair? What are they going to have to drink? So then they're like, okay, we can open a lemonade stand for the summer start fair so no one has to be thirsty. And so then it goes through the steps of how they have to gather supplies, and they run into some issues, like they're too short to reach the lemon, so they have to problem solve and figure out how to do that. And it shows how they talk to other people, so kind of like networking, like I was talking about. They have to create business deals and negotiate in order to get certain resources. And so it goes through what they have to overcome and really shows how much they have to persevere in order to reach their goals. Because that is a huge part of entrepreneurship, is not getting discouraged, because things are never going to go as planned. Things never go as planned. And so it really has to do with being as flexible as you can and using the skills and the strengths that you do have. And so after they've reached that, then they have their booth at the summer start fair. The back of the book does have vocabulary, so the kiddos can learn different words like advertisements, business deals, customers. So they learn that aspect of business ownership. So it is early elementary, so basically all elementary, so around 5 to 10 years old is the age group. And so different grades tend to like the book in different ways. It's been great being able to visit schools and to share my book with my readers and to talk to them one-on-one. They get really excited. And I really love how I'm able to represent people that aren't represented. Because I remember when I was a little girl, I never saw girls who had hair like mine and who looked like me in really empowering positions. So this is Ava and May. If anyone's interested in the book, you can go to avaandmay.com. And then you can purchase it straight from the website. It's also through Amazon, BarnesandNoble.com, Target.com. And then my social media on Instagram is Books by Britt D. And then Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok is just Books by Britt without the D. So, yeah.
That's really cool that you're teaching kids about, essentially, I guess, being able to do something on their own, or just following their dreams, basically. Just never giving up, or doing what they need to do to get where they want to get. That was probably not the best way to put
I get what you're saying.
But that's really awesome.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's all we have for today, everyone. Again, if you want to purchase the book, you can go to her website. Would you mind saying it again?
Yeah, it's avaandmay.com. So that's AVAANDMAE.com.
Okay, awesome. And we'll see you guys here next time on Reading with Tugina. Yay. Bye.